Last night, we heard Republican legislative leaders react to the governor's State of the State address. Tonight, it's the Democrats' turn. And joining us are Senate Minority Leader Mitzi Epstein and House Minority Leader Lupe Contreras. Good to have you both here. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
All right, we'll start with you, Senator. What the thoughts on the speech? Obviously, she's a Democrat. You're a Democrat. You must have been pleased.
Oh, so pleased. It is fantastic to have our Democratic Governor, Katie Hobbs, at the helm. She's done great work with the Task Force on Water and so many other things, showing leadership on how to help every Arizonan. I was especially pleased to hear some of the places where we've already worked together with the governor, such as on education. You may have heard her talk about helping first-time home buyers get their first home, and that is something that we have bills ready to move on that.
Okay, so that's obviously, you obviously, again, probably liked a lot of what you heard. What did you like best?
There's a lot that I liked. I mean, just the excitement that she brought to the crowd. But I think where she caught a lot I think where she stumped the Republicans is where she brought up the border crisis. I think she really stumped them there.
Yeah, she brought that up first thing. Did that surprise you? That was first thing out of the box?
I did. It did surprise me. It did, but it didn't. Because I think that's what the Arizonans really wanted to. It impacted all of Arizona. There was people here that it happened over the holidays when people wanted to go travel. They wanted to go visit family there and here. We have a lot of individuals here that own homes on the other side of the border. It affected them in their pocketbook, but ultimately it happened in a crucial time period.
Senator, are you comfortable with a Democratic governor criticizing a Democratic administration, called it misguided, short-sighted? Are you comfortable with that?
Sure. But this is America, where we describe and criticize things appropriately to what's going on.
All right, let's get to other topics here, because ESAs, it's a major issue for a variety of folks. But we had Republican leadership on last night. It sounds like it's untouchable for them. What do you want to realistically happen regarding the school voucher system? Well,
we have come together for the first time ever as a Democratic caucus to put together a plan of specific policies. So you may have seen in past years we've created a blueprint, a beautiful vision for Arizona. This is specific policies. It's because we look around and we know that affordability, we know what that feels like: childcare, the cost of rent and housing, prescription medicines. These are the specific things that we want to address, and therefore we've put together a House and Senate Democrats' vision and agenda of these specific policies, and those are what we want to be working on in a practical way. And ESA reforms, we worked with the governor to develop those, and I think that there is a way. Speaker Toma has already said fingerprinting, no problem. Private schools already do it.
Right. Accountability and transparency. What does that mean?
Accountability, I mean, there's a lot of funds that are going into this the project of ESAs. The accountability of who's using it and how they're using it. There's so much money that has been used. There's no ceiling to the expenditures of these monies. There were at the start. There was a thought process of so much of it was going to be used. We were only going to be this. There was only going to be this amount of money to be used at for the first year. We have far exceeded that amount, and we're looking at far exceeding whatever we've already used to this point. We need to start looking at who's getting the money, who's using the funds, how they're using the funds, and making sure that if it's going to be used, it's used for the purposes that it's meant to be used for.
I kind of going through topics here, but we only have a certain amount of time here. Water. Basically, the governor said, if you don't do something, lawmakers, I will. Are you comfortable with that?
She's the governor. That's what governors do. And we need to take action for our water. We are seeing far too many dry taps in rural Arizona, and we need a plan for that.
Republicans say, though, that that's not what governors do. Your governors are supposed to work with the legislature in getting policy.
Arizona has a long tradition of bringing everybody to the table, and it has a tradition of governors, no matter what their party, are the conveners, and I'm grateful that that's happening. We've heard Water Council has come to common ground and has made a couple of great proposals.
But as far as that executive action, should it come to pass, Republicans say, go ahead, we'll send you to court the next day.
Well, I mean, you know what? If that's how they want to act, do it. We're trying to be the adults in the room. The governor has put a task force together. She has brought people from all around to work together to come with common sense rules and regulations and usage of water. We live in Arizona. We need water. This is a desert. What more can the governor do than to bring in top individuals from all over and use their mindset to come up with rules and regs? And she's done that.
I want to get to the budget now, because I want to get to you with the budget, because Senate President Warren Peterson said that basically he has twice asked you in the previous months here, give him something, let's work on something, and you have given him nothing.
I am flabbergasted by the press release that we saw. I had just met that morning with President Warren Peterson, and we had discussed the procedures. We intend to bring to him by the end of this week our overview. But here's two important things on the budget. One, imagine you're a person out there in Arizona who wants something desperately. It's got to be in the budget. I need this to keep people clothed and fed. And now to be told, oh, the budget's already done, before we listen to them, that's wrong. And that's what it sounds like my Republican colleagues want to do. Shut out stakeholders, just get a budget done fast. Democrats want to get it done well.
What are you hearing in the House?
You know what, Speaker Toma and myself have a great relationship. We've been working on several issues and getting things done as much as we can. Budget so far, we have not spoken so much about the budget. There's going to be, we have meetings scheduled to get things done, but as thus far, we've not spoken about budget. Very
different atmosphere this year than compared to last. You got a surplus last go around, no surplus this time.
Oh, that's right. After years, 60-some years of Republican majority, and most recently doing budgeting with their eyes closed, we're left with this enormous deficit, and it is the tax cut that was $1 billion for billionaires. It's the runaway train, the expansion of government that is the ESA universal program. And it's 30 years of tax cuts that have mainly benefited big corporations and the wealthiest few.
And last point, Representative, they will say that those tax cuts, we heard last night, those tax cuts have helped Arizona's economy be the powerhouse that it is. Are they wrong?
You know what? Yes, they are. I mean, it's funny how they only speak for themselves. Let's speak for all of Arizonans. Don't just speak for your friends. Speak for everybody. We're not here just for our own. We're here for all of Arizona. And that's what we should be speaking for.
And last question. Is there a spirit of compromise even remotely in the air, cooperation, bipartisanship, or is it going to be the same old, same old?
We will continue to listen for those points of common ground, and I think the points of sensibility are there. For instance, on ESA reform, we just want to say if you're using tax dollars, make sure kids are attending school. Doesn't that seem sensible, practical, and fiscally responsible?
Senator Mitzi Epstein, Representative Lupe Contreras, Democratic leadership at the state capitol. Good to have you both here. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.